Election Day is tomorrow, and research from the American Psychological Association shows 66% of Americans are already stressed out. Right now, there's a lot of issues on the ballot, so it's natural to be concerned about those races.
Yeah, makes sense. So how do you handle the stress? Psychology expert Blanca Cobb here to help us kind of navigate these feelings. Blanca, let's start with this. Why are politics such a hot topic for so many people? I mean, it's so polarizing these days.
It's very polarizing. A lot of times people feel like it's an issue of right or wrong, that one party has it completely right, the other party doesn't, and that somebody's beliefs define them. And so if there's a mismatch in what you believe and where somebody else, it makes you question the other person. There's also been some research of brain scans of people, of the amygdala, and this is the emotional center of your brain. And what they found in these brain scans is that people who have their political beliefs challenged, their amygdala lights up. So that's how we know that people feel very passionate about their politics.
Blanca, I've got to ask this. Why does it seem that some people insist on having political conversations when you just don't want to participate?
I know, right? It can be a head scratcher for all of us, but a lot of times people want to be heard. They want to be validated. They feel like they have a good idea, and if they can just help spread this good idea, then people are just going to see the right in their ways or in their political party's side. And again, they get very passionate. And in these types of situations, there's really not a point to refute them unless you want to possibly get into a disagreement or an argument. It's really just listening and validating the emotions that you hear them talk about.
So let's talk about avoiding those conversations altogether and then kind of keeping confrontations down at the same time. That's pretty difficult. How can we handle that?
That is a big juggling act. You're right about that. You know, you can tell your friends or your family, hey, look, I just don't want to talk about politics. It might start in a good place, but it doesn't end there. And then you can say, I like you, I want what's best for everybody. Maybe it's more constructive if we talk about what the issues are and maybe different ways of how they can be solved, because that way you're focusing on the problems and you're not bringing in political parties into the situation. The less you talk about political parties and just focus on the issues, the better people seem to handle that type of conversation.
I can agree with that. I think the biggest thing is just having an open mind and respect for other people's feelings and just agreeing, I might not agree with your decisions or maybe, what you believe in, but just respecting the fact that we just have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, and being able just to say, we all have the choice to vote this way or that way, and that's really all we can do. That's our power,
Just make sure you get out and vote, because there's a lot of people who don't even do that.
Exactly right. That is not what you should do. Thank you, Blanca. We can continue that conversation with Blanca. It's on her Facebook page if you'd like to. Blanca Cobb, body language expert. Easy as that. We'll be right back.